100% and more that good for you. You feel zoom in, check the nutrition facts. You feel zoom in, check the nutrition facts. You feel zoom in, check the nutrition facts. Less sugar, less salt intake and less fat. You feel zoom in.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Jamaica Moves, the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, the National Health Fund, and Japan.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with kind support of NIA and USAID.
Lock them out. Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come scam. Take time running, are we ready for the ops? Drive up on your block, step out now me black cyber take a boy your laptop. Pull up every lock, no evidence to drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have the underdog. Sin you say scam, you better look out fit. When you move corrupt, better look out fit. Please say you get wet, look out fit. Look out fit, look out fit. From you say scam, you better look out fit. When you move corrupt, better look out fit. Please say you get wet, look out fit. Look out fit, look out fit.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
MOCA. Me, I go show them my way of justice.
I'm abused.
I need legal advice. I don't deserve this.
The truth of the matter is, justice there for all of we. The Ministry of Justice has trained more than 5,600 persons in restorative justice practices. More than 200,000 victims have been supported by the victim services. Legal aid has reached thousands island-wide. Make we talk it out, not fight it out. Call 888 Justice today.
Motorists, certificates of fitness are now digital. Here's how it works. First, make your payment at TAJ inline or online. Then, take your receipt along with your vehicle to an Island Traffic Authority service hub for physical inspection. A valid email address is required to receive your digital fitness. Once the inspection is complete, your certificate number will be sent directly to your email. To access your digital certificate, visit cgds.gov.jm/fitness, enter your certificate number and the chassis number, and view your certificate online. New validity periods are here. New vehicles, 5 years. Vehicles 10 years or less, 3 years. And those older than 10, 1 year. No more paper certificates. Just secure, digital access, anytime, anywhere. For more information, connect with us via email at info@ita.gov.jm or on social media at Island Traffic Authority.
Hi, my name is Jordan Mullings, and I want to share some tips with you guys as riders. Really want to emphasize awareness while riding. We don't have time to lapse, we don't have time for autopilot, we don't have time to just end up at our destinations and we don't know how we got there. Constantly checking your mirrors to see if any cars are coming nearby. Constantly surveying your surroundings to see what's happening, right? And if you're on a road or in an area that you don't know, have to proceed with caution. Also, be careful who you ride with, who you hang out with, because their habits will become your habits. So, we want to implore all riders to set the right examples, to think for others. If you're going on a group ride, know where you're going to, so you can also take your time in riding. Guys, awareness is key. Awareness buys you time, time buys you options. I like to say, scan and plan. So, for new riders, get a good mentor. Do your training, right? There is information all out there. You can contact me at Learn to Ride JA. Also, there are a lot of good videos on YouTube on how to ride safely and properly. Take care, guys. Remember, it's a duty of care for all road users to look out for each other.
Motorists, as Minister of Justice, I appeal to you, obey the road code, pay your ticket on time, and only go to court if the ticket is being contested. Close to 80% of matters coming to the parish courts are for traffic breaches. Let's work together to make our roads safe and ease the burden on our courts.
Cook it up and make we steam it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Cook it up and make we roast it. Farm fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Grow smart at the best part. Food for thought so me have to eat smart. Easy cash, fully net. A tilapia so you don't know what's next. Cook it up and make we fry it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Bring home the best in freshwater fish. High content of vitamin B3, protein and potassium. Tilapia, simple, healthy, delicious.
Na 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 na. We want a piece for Jamaica. Yeah, yeah. We have to be our brother's keeper. Yeah, yeah. Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life. Want we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good. I better you and I. No say we future bright. Jamaica live good. Come together as one. I make the violence the one.
Overtake and bring back everything.
Bask in the awesome Word of God and the life-changing experience of fellowship. Bask in the revival time, 8 a.m. on Sundays, right here on the People's Station.
My name is Alfonso Grenell, Managing Director of Grenell's Driving School. June is Road Safety Awareness Month, and today we'll be discussing the importance of child restraint. Once a child is younger than 12, then they should always sit in the back of the vehicle in the appropriate restraint, whether it be a child seat or a booster seat. Children, once they are standing between the two front seats, you don't even have to have a crash for them to receive serious injury if they are thrown forward against the dashboard. Children are known to have died from injuries received by hitting their head against the back of the front seats because they did not have on their child safety seat. Also, children who sit in the front seat who are not old enough, they can be hit by the airbag that is deployed with enough force to injure them or even kill them. Hence, children 12 and younger should always sit in the back of the vehicle.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Your government is empowering you through education, training, and development. That is why we have removed all fees for every Jamaican accessing training through the Heart NSTA Trust. So, whatever you desire training in, food and hospitality, beauty and cosmetology, housekeeping and hotel management, welding, carpentry, masonry, or any of the dozens of programs Heart offers, you can enroll completely free and change your life. We are building Jamaica.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
What can a little germs do?
Pink eye running belly even flu. Germs can make them happen to you.
Put germs on our manners with these. Cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Always wash your hand with water and soap. Keep dirty hands from your eyes and your nose and your mouth. You don't want to be sick, take care. Practice every day, no germs around here. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Motorists, certificates of fitness are now digital. Here's how it works. First, make your payment at TAJ inline or online. Then, take your receipt along with your vehicle to an Island Traffic Authority service hub for physical inspection. A valid email address is required to receive your digital fitness. Once the inspection is complete, your certificate number will be sent directly to your email. To access your digital certificate, visit cgds.gov.jm/fitness, enter your certificate number and the chassis number, and view your certificate online. New validity periods are here. New vehicles, 5 years. Vehicles 10 years or less, 3 years. And those older than 10, 1 year. No more paper certificates, just secure, digital access, anytime, anywhere. For more information, connect with us via email at info@ita.gov.jm or on social media at Island Traffic Authority.
Hey, I'm Abijah, the Rootsman. Today, I want to talk to you about something powerful. Peace. Peace isn't just the absence of conflict. It's about kindness, understanding, and respect. It starts with us. Every choice we make can build bridges or burn them. Let's choose peace in our words, our action, and our hearts. Peace begins with you. Together, we can create a brighter and safer future for everyone. Join me. Let's be that change we want to see.
Every year, the Jamaican Parliament approves billions of our taxes to be spent on goods and services provided by the private sector. Everything from pens to power plants, cleaning services to construction are obtained through a process called public procurement. But who funds this process? Citizens do. And we want our taxes to be spent wisely. When we talk about public procurement, there's a critical concept called value for money. We hear it in the Parliament all the time, but what does it really mean? Some think value for money means choosing the cheapest option, but it's more than that. For example, a community needs a new bridge, and the government receives bids from 3 companies. Company A offers to build it for $10 million in 18 months with a 50-year lifespan. Company B wants $12 million to finish in 12 months with a 75-year lifespan. Company C asks for $8 million, needs 24 months with a 25-year lifespan. Company B actually offers the best value for money. To determine that, we look for 4 crucial factors: economy, efficiency, effectiveness, and equity. Let's explore what each means. For economy, we must look beyond the upfront price and consider the full lifetime costs to maintain the bridge. Cheaper options could lead to frequent and expensive repairs. We get efficiency if the bridge is built within budget and on time, with no waste of materials. To achieve this, we need the best team, and clear criteria helps the government to pick the best proposal. Effectiveness looks at whether the government achieves its goal. This could require a community needs assessment to ensure the bridge will reduce transport costs and travel time, withstand the annual flooding with little disturbance to plant and animal life. Finally, equity. This is about fairness, satisfying the different needs of the community. The bridge design considers not just cars and pedestrians, but is sensitive to the needs of the elderly, the disabled community, and children. So when we're talking about value for money, don't just ask how much it did cost. Ask, what are we truly getting for our money? The cheapest option today can become the most expensive mistake tomorrow. So from now on, let's ask the right questions for Jamaica land we love, Jamaica land we own, and Jamaica land we run well.
Peace begins with us. Every act of kindness, every step towards understanding brings us closer to a brighter tomorrow. Let's choose unity, compassion, and hope. Together, we can build a future where peace reigns.
Brighter tomorrow starting today.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Your government is empowering you through education, training, and development. That is why we have removed all fees for every Jamaican accessing training through the Heart NSTA Trust. So, whatever you desire training in, food and hospitality, beauty and cosmetology, housekeeping and hotel management, welding, carpentry, masonry, or any of the dozens of programs Heart offers, you can enroll completely free and change your life. We are building Jamaica.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Immerse yourself in the power of the Word. PBCJ brings you Word Power, Sundays at 6 a.m. Tune in and be blessed.
Yo, babes, why me I call you so much time and I nah get you? Sorry me lick you again yesterday. Yo, me know me mess up, but I can't wear them something there road and I expect me to react. I know I'm jealous and fool and easy to lose my temper, but call me back here.
Still nah get tired.
Hey, girl, think me have to call your phone? You know who you are deal with? You think I want to lick me again next time? Eh?
It doesn't have to be this way. You can leave an abusive relationship. Just call 876-553-0372. We will help you.
Remember that big project the government announced them was going to from when? You ever catch yourself a wonder what happened to it? Stop wonder like an outsider and start move like the country belong to you. You have a right to publicly owned information, and the Access to Information Act gives you that power. I know you have enough questions about how government are run or not run, so let me show you how it works. Say mosquito spraying going on in your community, your children asthmatic and you want to know what chemicals are in it. Or what about that Auditor General report on a public official getting twice his salary with no proper approval? Is your taxes and you want to know if they paid it back? First, do some basic searching to see what is already on government websites. If you don't see what you're looking for, make a formal ATI request by completing the application form on the ATI site or sending a letter or email. And remember, you don't have to say why you need it. It is your right to know. Make sure you send your request to the right agency, and once they confirm receipt, they get 30 calendar days to provide the information. A maximum of 60 if extra time is needed. Yes, I know you want access to everything, but sensitive documents are protected from the public for up to 20 years. For example, documents that would expose a citizen's personal privacy, or those dealing with cabinet discussions, the Governor General's office, or information on the investigative activities of the security forces. Any public officer who tries to destroy or hide any official document can be sanctioned. And if you're having difficulties, the ATI unit will help. So, what if the chemicals in the mosquito spray are toxic? What if the agency did not even try to get back the money they paid out? Call or email your MP. Share the concern, because as your elected representative, they can represent your questions to the government ministers in the House. Remember, it is the job of parliamentarians to monitor and hold the government to account on your behalf. Is not every country give citizens this kind of power, you know? And at 20 years we have this law, and we barely use it. So access information and mind your business, Jamaica. Visit jampja.org today to see what information we access to make it easier for you to hold the government to account. Let's do our job to make Jamaica land we love, Jamaica land we own, and Jamaica land we run well. A message from the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, funded by the European Union in partnership with the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica.
Hey, I'm Abijah, the Roots Man. Today, I want to talk to you about something powerful. Peace. Peace isn't just the absence of conflict. It's about kindness, understanding, and respect. It starts with us. Every choice we make can build bridges or burn them. Let's choose peace in our words, our action, and our hearts. Peace begins with you. Together, we can create a brighter and safer future for everyone. Join me. Let's be that change we want to see.
Mr. Brown?
You having some issues? You still what? As I said, Senator, welcome Senator Professor Morris. Yeah, she asked to be online. That sports jacket looks very nice. First, yeah, when I say first time I wear it, man. But I don't know why the wife keep buying these green clothes for him. Forest. Forest green. We are aware of everything in us, so don't. Okay. No other apologies. Just want to welcome everyone to the meeting today. Thank you for coming. And I think that Ms. Jimenez has been absent for the last 2 meetings. You were here last week? Okay. The minutes for the meeting held on the 5th day of June 2026 were circulated. I take them as read. Page 1 is as it is. Page 2, referencing the continuation of the review of Standing Order 82, which refers to private members' bills. Ms. Jimenez stated that, and she continued to make her presentation with a text of the amendments, which are begin on page 2 and continue on to page 3. Those are what legal counsel Jimenez had put before the committee, and also went on to explain the redraft of 8215. During the discussion, Senator Sinclair assumed the chair and sought clarity from Ms. Jimenez, that is on page 3 and 4. Senator Gale was asking questions as well. The clarification proposed by Jimenez to 8215C is contained on page 4. And Ms. Jimenez, 1 minute please. You got the names of those people that are to come here? Yes. When they come, you could just find out what post they hold from it. I don't know. It's okay. Jimenez explained that the intention behind 8215C was to ensure that the Senate still had the power to proceed, notwithstanding the committee's report. Onto page 5. Now, Ms. Jimenez undertook to examine paragraph 8215C and the related clause in light of Standing Order 58 and provide something more definitive for the committee's consideration at the next meeting. Golden Campbell asks that in reviewing the wording, Jimenez consider what would take place if the Senate accepted the report from the Special Selected Committee, stating that the facts and allegations in the bill have not been proved. The chairman noted that the committee would continue to review at its next meeting. Comments regarding the logic and clarity of the redrafted 82 were discussed by Scott Motley, who Mr. Brown is trying to get online, apparently. So those are the minutes for the meeting of June 15, 2026. And do I have a motion for their adoption? That's Senator Gale, seconded by Professor Floyd Morris. Senator Sinclair, who was dealing with the issue of 82, to just continue it.
All right. At the last meeting, we were generally satisfied with the redraft, and there was only a concern that was raised in relation to 8215C, and Ms. Jimenez will just take up from there, so we can see if we can sign off on the redraft for Standing Order 82. So Ms. Jimenez, over to you in relation to 8215C.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the committee. Pleasant morning to you all. Following our last meeting, Member Golding Campbell had raised a concern regarding the drafting of Standing Order 8215C as revised and Standing Order 58-1. I'll just read for your benefit Standing Order 58-1 and the disparity with Standing Order 8215C as redrafted.
All right, just reread 8215C, so you'll have to go back to the redraft, members, with 8215C, and then you look on the 58.
Right. So on on the document that was submitted with the proposed redraft of Standing Orders 82, you'd look to page 5 of that document, and it contains the clause Standing Order 8215C, which was a part of the committee's deliberation at the last meeting. It says, if the committee finds that the facts and allegations set out in the bill have not been proved, it shall report to the Senate accordingly, and thereupon no further proceedings shall be taken with reference to the bill unless the Senate makes a special order to the contrary. Standing Order 58, which was raised by Member Golding Campbell, 58-1 says, when a bill has been reported from a select committee, the Senate may proceed to consider the bill as reported from the select committee upon the motion that the report of the select committee on the, and you insert the name of the bill, be adopted, moved under paragraph 6 of subsection 6 of the Standing Order 77, reports from select committee. Subclause 2 states, if the motion is agreed without amendment, the bill shall be recommitted to the committee of the whole Senate without question put, and shall be considered either forthwith or on the day to be appointed by the member in charge of the bill. The last subclause in that standing order reads, a committee of the whole Senate upon the bill recommitted under the provisions of this order shall proceed in accordance with paragraph 2 and 3 of Standing Order 57, which deals with the recommittal of bills reported from committee of the whole Senate, and the conclusion of its proceedings and the remaining proceedings on the bill shall be subject to paragraph 4 of that order. Having regard to the concern that was raised by Senator Golding Campbell, I noted what was the concern being a disparity between Standing Order 58 and Standing Order 8215C as was redrafted. The intention behind Standing Order 8215C was not to require the Senate, after accepting that there was an adverse finding, meaning the private bills committee, having recognized that the facts of the bill has not been proved before the committee, it was not the intention for the bill to go back to the committee of the whole House. In fact, it was intended that it was supposed to be terminated at that stage. It would be terminated at that stage because the committee would be tasked with reporting to the Senate and advising that the facts of the bill has not been proved. If it has not been proved, it was not expected that it would have gone the remaining stages of the bill's process, which would include it going to the whole committee of the Senate and then having any other deliberations thereafter, being third reading or any other process. So the aim behind Standing Order 8215 was to authorize the Senate, unless it otherwise deem that it is necessary, to have the bill terminated if it is that it cannot be satisfied in accordance with the standing orders. So I am not, when it is that we contemplate Standing Order 58 in that regard, it speaks to the fact of the bill being reported from the Select Committee and that it may proceed as reported from the Select Committee. I am not seeing where it is that what would be provided for under 8215C would prevent or breach Standing Order 58.1. Standing Order 8215C gives the Senate the authority to so act. And if it is that we contemplate the current draft of the Standing Order, I believe that was also the intention of the drafters of the Standing Orders, because that same clause still exists in our current Standing Orders. It requires that the bill be proved by the committee, and if it has not been proved, then the committee shall report accordingly. It would be in the purview of the Senate to determine the best course of action thereafter.
Members, are you clear on the explanation that has been stated by Mr. Jimenez, Senator Gale, and then Senator Bernard?
And let me state in the first instance that, 82 as it is, and the proposed revision, a lot of work was put in it. Drafting for me it's a peculiar exercise. And it's not everyone that can be an exemplary drafter. But when you draft to the extent where the drafting allows those who read to clearly understand in what appears in my mind as a chronological order, I want to commend Ms. Jimenez for the extent of research she has done to define it in such a way. Because it's not an easy job to just to draft. And also in your drafting, you can go through with an explanation. I want to see clarity, however, in trying to understand C. Just a little part in C is that if the committee finds that the facts and allegations set out in the bill have not been proved, or let's say substantiated, it shall report to the Senate accordingly, and thereupon no further proceeding shall be taken with reference to the bill. The part that I need us clarity on is this part that seeks to suggest, unless the Senate makes special order to the contrary. Now, what would that special order be? Because this would mean that there would be an extension of some sort to the debate in furtherance. But what would have been that kind of trigger that would allow for that special order to the contrary?
Right. So to that end, when it is that the committee has completed its deliberations rather, and has submitted its report to the Senate would have by motion either adopt the report or to reject it.
Right.
If it is that the report is adopted or accepted,
Are using the term that Floyd whispered, approved.
Or approved, it is for the Senate, the body of the Senate, to determine whether or not they want to take this bill to the committee of the whole Senate to determine whether or not they agree with the findings of the Select Committee. So that would be the special order. because this is saying if it is that the report is accepted, then it would bring some finality to the process of the bill in the Senate. It would, if you have not demonstrated in accordance with the standing orders that what you are seeking to do through the bill is possible, permissible, or practical, then it would be incumbent for that committee to say you have not satisfied the standing orders.
Mm-hmm.
It is for the Senate, the Senate, to determine whether or not it should still proceed to the whole committee of the Senate, or if it is okay with adopting the report as being.
As is.
Right. So that is what the special order was supposed to do, not to take away the authority of the Senate as a body from further scrutinizing it if it wanted to.
Senator Bernard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My comments are similar, but before I was about to ask about, is there any kind of precedent that you could have outlined to clarify unless the Senate makes a special order? I mean, it's a consistent question I asked, so get a sense of what it is. But I think, Mr. President, Mr. Chair, this is the second, I think, comment coming from Senator Golden, and we had stood on one before asking for it to be revisited when she's here, because I recall it was a very extensive conversation she had. And I'm not sure if she would be satisfied, but I am clear on the explanation provided. So I was wondering if we would not want to revisit this when she's here, when that member is here, given her extensive comment the last occasion. But my substantial question pretty much was to ask about the unless the Senate makes a special order to the contrary, and to say, is there a case that comes to your mind and something like this would have happened, and, you know, how was that dealt with? I just wanted to for my own, because this part of the amendment was where I have my question.
Right. It's not that a case had come to mind. It is just that this revision is actually providing a new authority to the Senate. In fact, if it is that we go to Standing Order 82.8, B. It reads, the Special Select Committee, if it finds that the said facts and allegations have been proved, shall consider the several clauses of the bill and may strike out clauses, add new clauses, or make any other amendments that it may think necessary. And in respect of such new clauses, other amendments shall describe their purport in the special report to the Senate, but no new clauses or amendments shall be allowed which are foreign to the objects of and reasons of the bill, which are beyond its scope. I think the part that I should read is really A, which deals with if it is that the facts have not been proved. I apologize. Every special select committee on such a bill shall require proof of the facts and other allegations set forth in the bill as showing that it is expedient that the bill should be passed, and make any such oral or other evidence as it may think requisite, and thereafter, if the committee finds that the said facts and allegations are not proved, it shall report to the Senate accordingly, and thereupon no further proceedings shall be taken with reference to the bill unless the Senate makes a special order to the contrary. So what is there in Standing Order 8215C is what is in our current draft of the standing orders. It was expected that the Senate as a body may be able, following a report that is adverse to the bill, have a special order to determine if it wants to still continue with reviewing the bill, notwithstanding the imposition of Standing Order 58. I would say, too, in light of Member Bernard's submission, if it is that the committee is of the view that unless the Senate makes a special order to the contrary, is in need of further clarification or to be a little bit more explicit, then we could make some amendments to it depending on what it is that the body so determines.
Senator Gale.
I don't want to draft a particular clause based on circumstances that may not exist.
Right.
Because in this case, you'll be seeking to identify those possible areas to prove something that we can't just pick out of a hat. I believe it's clear here. Because what I'm seeing in B is suggesting that during those deliberations, amendments would have been proposed.
Right.
And those are the amendments that would have been added. So these would have been the circumstantial findings coming out of a deliberation that would propose amendments. And it's very precise in the drafting here. Save and except you don't want to deal with anything foreign that is not germane to the debate itself. So I would not go out to seek, Chairman, to identify any other circumstances at this case, because what you don't want to do is to create a situation where you start identifying and then that identification of other areas becomes, you have to add to it. And somebody may say, they might not be here and be reading the clause and be saying, but why you didn't add this? And so you don't want to expose yourself in drafting to create that type of scenario. So I'm fine in terms of where it is. It is very clear in my mind in terms of what has been proposed as a draft.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, was not for us to be, let us say, get into the granular of what could be the particular circumstance. But I'm just a little bit concerned about the Senate makes a special order to the contrary. It just, for me, it leaves it, it's open too widely for the Senate to make a special order. And I'm just weary about, in one instance, it is a special order, and then another instance is not a special order. And I don't want to raise the debate that we are going to be having about the use of electronics, and I have those concerns, And I know we have this conversation about it might be who sitting in the chair and who give more leeway than the other. So but it's just that, Mr. Chair.
Let me suppose in your, the term, you don't have to turn it off, because I suppose you'll have to come back short. You seem to be concerned about the use of the word special.
Yeah, what makes us, the Senate makes a special order to the contrary. It's kind of very subjective. I think that's it. It's not the word special, it's the entire phrase.
But it is contrary to, all right.
It's kind of language I'm thinking of, but I'm good otherwise.
You have it that it shall report to the Senate accordingly, and thereupon no further proceeding shall be taken with reference to the bill. So that is one side. And an order to the contrary would be that further proceedings the proceedings can continue. That is to the contrary. That is the other side. What is difficult about that?
That there might be a discussion that we need to have to the contrary because of the other side. But is that determination I'm talking about? So unless the Senate makes a special order to the contrary. So let us say then, for example, the bill would have come and it didn't get the approval, but the Senate could make a special order to the contrary to have further discussion.
No, it did not. It came back with a report which was adverse.
Right.
To say that the
doesn't
bill have not been proved.
Right, it has not been proved.
The allegations set out in the bill have not been proved.
Right. But the Senate can make a special order to the contrary. Right.
Yes.
So
No. in relation to
the report.
The report proceeding.
Right. So it has not, if the report comes back to the Senate and the case has not been proven, it doesn't go any further unless the Senate makes a special order to the contrary, that it goes further.
The whole Senate.
Right.
And not just a few members of the Senate
Right.
that would have sat on that
Right.
select committee.
Right.
And would say that the bill can proceed.
So
They take a
that
different
decision
position.
of the whole Senate would be a consensus or it would be based on a vote of who
Well,
comprises it?
it would have to be the majority.
So is this the case where members of the committee, you would find at least a member of the committee in the minority expressing a concern? Because something would have to trigger the Senate at this case to make a special order to the contrary. It means that there is an adverse position coming out of the report. Isn't that so?
Right. So the committee would be producing an adverse report to the bill, meaning the committee is pretty much saying in its report, do not proceed any further with this bill
Right.
because it has not satisfied the standing orders.
Right.
It makes that report to the House, and it's put to the Senate.
To the
and
Senate.
the Senate is now the body, the full body of the
Right.
Senate is tasked with voting on the motion whether or not to accept or approve this report and move it further
Or not.
Right. So it leaves then, based on the current drafting of the Standing Order 82.8a, it leaves the authority with the body of the Senate, the whole Senate, to vote on whether or not it wants to accept the report and to have the bill terminated at that stage without it proceeding any further. Or the body of the Senate can determine that, yes, we had sight of the report. There is something that is still puzzling us. We still want to deliberate a little bit further. And then they would go to the next stage, which is a committee of the whole Senate. So they, in the committee of the whole Senate, would do a clause-by-clause review of the bill and may determine that, yes, it should proceed or should not. But it leaves it in the authority, as Chairman was explaining, not to just a few members of the Senate, but to the whole Senate
whole
to
Senate,
determine
no.
how to move forward. And yes, it would be by majority vote. So every person who is a senator sitting in the Senate at the time would be quite okay able to vote and participate in the process.
And I can relate it to other types of situations. For example, when we sit, say at council, and recommendations may come from an agency in relation to some type of development. But the council can look at that and agree, or we can disagree after debating, all the councillors debating the same, the particular issue. And do go ahead with the recommendation, but to proceed with
Proceed.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing here in
So
our chair.
I don't find the concept to be one that is distant from.
No, what I'm seeing, the committee would have reviewed what it saw and made a report to the whole Senate. The whole Senate now, having received the report and now having line of sight of the report, may inform itself that, hey, there are circumstances that we believe, notwithstanding the recommendation of the committee, for it to proceed. And to be able to have a further examination of what was presented. So it allows for a seize of it from the point of the submission from the committee, or another opportunity to examine and further interrogate the submissions, which in my mind is fair and reasonable. And that is what was contained in the intent of what was drafted. So if that assists you any further, sir.
Senator Bernard.
I'm understanding, I think my headspace has gone somewhere else, just in terms of the composition. And I'm just going to say this for the record, So, in any event, the majority that has, it's the majority I'm just saying, it's in any event, that is where it will go. So I'm good with it. I'm just curious to hear from Senator Golden, because she was quite intent on getting some clarity. And I'm not sure if this is it, but if this is it, it is fine. So I'm just hoping that we can hear from her on this. And I think there was one other that you would have stood it down maybe 2 or so meetings ago.
Right.
And we never get back to it.
That was it was provided in the last meeting.
Right. Yes.
So the documents were all provided.
Right. But we didn't get her
she
comment
had
back
asked for an internal procedure document, and that was provided, and the redraft, the proposed redraft from the legal team, which was deliberated on by the committee on the last meeting.
The only issue that we had outstanding was
this particular one.
This, correct? Yes. So, since we are now at the appointed hour, and I do appreciate the comment from Senator Bernard to give to our colleague Senator Golden Campbell an opportunity to look at the minutes going into the next meeting and to see whether it satisfies her or she wishes to interrogate it any further. And then we can ultimately sign off on it. Okay, I will make that note. All right, so the explanation has been given. It seems that all members who are here presently are appreciative of the clarification that has been given by Ms. Jimenez, and we want to continue to thank you in respect to how you attend to these particular matters, Ms. Jimenez, and the team that you work with. And we just close off at this time, give to Senator Golden Campbell an opportunity to review the minutes and to have the appreciation of the clarification that has been given, and we can sign off on 82, standing order 82 on the next occasion. All the other aspects of the redraft having already been signed off on. And before I close, we have gotten the final confirmation, Senator Scott Motley, who indicated her desire to appear on the Zoom, that because of the inability of the technical team to get it up and running, where she is. Okay. She has expressed her apologies for her absence today, in spite of her desire to be here. Well, it is on the part of the. No, I think we have gotten our thing up. We got our thing up. We got our thing up and running, but I think she's still having some challenges on her side. And so we know that Senator Scott Motley is one whose attendance is up, as we would say in Jamaican parlance, but the technology sometimes doesn't work well with us. All right? Okay, sir. Well, I believe that is a rare occasion because the parliament tends to be more efficient than us on our side sometimes. Correct? You agree with that? I was expecting to hear a big applause over on this side. All right. So can I get a motion for adjournment, please? All right. Senator Gale, and seconded by Senator Floyd Morris. Thank you very much. This standing order committee is now adjourned.
Motorists, as Minister of Justice, I appeal to you, obey the road code, pay your ticket on time, and only go to court if the ticket is being contested. Close to 80% of matters coming to the parish courts are for traffic breaches. Let's work together to make our roads safe and ease the burden on our courts.
Cook it up and make we steam it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Cook it up and make we roast it. Farm fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Grow smart at the best part. Food for thought so me have to eat smart. Easy catch, fully net. A tilapia so you don't know what's next. Cook it up and make we fry it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Bring home the best in freshwater fish. High content of vitamin B3, protein and potassium. Tilapia, simple, healthy, delicious.
We want a piece for Jamaica. Yeah, yeah. We have to be our brother's keeper. Yeah, yeah. Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life. What we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good. I better you and I. No say we future bright. Jamaica live good. Come together as one. I make the violence the world. Overtake.
Motorists, as Minister of Justice, I appeal to you, obey the road code, pay your ticket on time, and only go to court if the ticket is being contested. Close to 80% of matters coming to the parish courts are for traffic breaches. Let's work together to make our roads safe and ease the burden on our courts.
Cook it up and make we steam it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Cook it up and make we roast it. Farm fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Grow smart at the best part. Food for thought so me have to eat smart. Easy catch, fully net. A tilapia so you don't know what's next. Cook it up and make we fry it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Bring home the best in freshwater fish. High content of vitamin B3, protein and potassium. Tilapia, simple, healthy, delicious.
Na. We want a piece for Jamaica. Yeah. We have to be our brother's keeper. Yeah. Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life. Want we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good. I better you and I. No say we future bright. Jamaica live good. Come together as one. I make the violence the one.
Overtake and bring back everything.
Bask in the awesome Word of God and the life-changing experience of fellowship. Bask in the revival time, 8 a.m. on Sundays, right here on the People's Station.
Welcome to PBCJ's coverage of the sitting of the Senate. I'm Simone Absalom Gale, and I'll provide a brief outline of what's expected to take place during the sitting. But before we begin, did you know that under Chapter 2 of the Jamaican Constitution, persons born in Jamaica and persons born outside of Jamaica of Jamaican parents have an automatic right to Jamaican citizenship? Applications for Jamaican citizenship are done in different categories. These include applications for citizenship through descent, marriage, naturalization, registration of Commonwealth citizen, and registration of a minor. Under public business, the Civil Aviation Amendment Act 2026 is to be tabled and taken. Generally speaking, the Civil Aviation Amendment Act is a critical piece of legislation in Jamaica that updates the country's aviation framework to comply with international obligations set by the International Civil Aviation Organization. Also on the agenda, the Pensions, Superannuation, Funds and Retirement Schemes Registration, Licensing and Reporting Amendment Regulations 2026 is to be tabled and taken. This is aimed at modernizing the regulatory fee framework and strengthening oversight of the private pensions sector. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Favour Williams, explained in the other house that although the Financial Services Commission regulates and supervises the private pension industry under the Pension Superannuation Funds and Retirement Schemes Act and its attendant regulations, the agency's broader fee structure has remained unchanged for nearly 2 decades. And that's what's on the agenda. It should be noted that elements of the day's agenda can be changed or moved. But before we go, here are a few things you should bear in mind if you plan to attend a session at Gordon House. No visitor shall create any act of disorder within the precincts of the House. No visitor shall be admitted to the House without first obtaining an admission card. Visitors who remain within the precincts of the House during a suspension of the session are asked to keep silent. No photography, videography, or sketching of the proceedings is allowed unless so authorized by the presiding officer. And there should be no smoking inside the parliamentary building. Now over to the proceedings.
We want a piece for Jamaica.